Hello everyone. I'm Meng Meng. Today's lesson is to understand the catering services of first class and business class. Airlines prepare corresponding meals based on the characteristics of various countries and regions, as well as the flight segments and distances. Next, let's watch a video first. Welcome to our Trade Onboard Lounge.
It's a perfect place to unwind on the flight.
Care for a veteran. After watching, we can understand the categorization of first-class catering, which is generally distinguished by country, including Chinese, Western, Korean, and Japanese cuisine. Complemented by Chinese cooking dishes, it will give you the taste of home. We also find that the tableware in first-class cabins is carefully designed and crafted by each airline, and our first-class and business-class passengers can dine according to the time they choose and select the type of meal. Dining at 10,000 meters above ground is also very different from on the ground. The high altitude response and cabin pressure can reduce your appetite. The in-flight meals can also be said to be a contest between the carefully prepared dishes by the airline and appetite. High quality, personalized catering services are one of the important considerations for many first-class passengers when choosing an airline. Next, let's learn the catering service process for international flights in first class. Today, we will use Chinese and Western full-course meals as examples to introduce to you. Generally, the first procedure is to order meals. Flight attendants will recommend today's main dishes and then corresponding wines, including pre-meal, during the meal, and post-meal. The second procedure is to set the tableware and lay the tablecloth. Tableware is generally set according to Western principles. Common Western tableware includes knives, forks, and spoons. The types can generally be divided into steak knives, dinner knives, dessert knives, butter knives, forks, including pastry forks and spoons, dessert forks and spoons, fruit forks in 3 or 2 prongs, dinner forks in 4 prongs, and spoons including dessert spoons, soup spoons, coffee spoons. Tableware is set from the outside to the inside, in the order of serving the dishes. Knife on the right, fork on the left, limited by space on the plane. Different knives and forks can be changed according to the order of serving the dishes. The third procedure is bread. We need to pay attention to the variety, taste, and baking skills of the bread. For example, if there is garlic bread on the plane, garlic bread should be baked and provided separately from other breads. The fourth procedure is the appetizer. We can also call it an appetizer. There are cold and hot appetizers. The appearance and seasoning can stimulate one's appetite. Common varieties include caviar, foie gras, salmon, etc. The fifth procedure is salad. Vegetable dishes in Western cuisine are called salads. They have the effect of stimulating appetite and clearing the palate. Salads served with the main course are called vegetable salads, usually made with lettuce, tomatoes, cucumbers, asparagus, etc. Common salad dressings include French dressing, which includes vinaigrette, balsamic vinegar dressing, Italian pepper dressing, Thousand Island dressing. They can be selected for passengers before ordering, or let passengers choose when provided. The sixth procedure is soup, which is generally divided into Chinese and Western styles. For example, the famous Chinese clay pot soup, and Western borscht, etc. The seventh procedure is our main course. If passengers order Chinese food, they should be provided with chopsticks and a spoon. Rice or noodles are paired with the corresponding dishes. In Western cuisine, meat and poultry dishes are also called the main course. Ingredients are taken from various parts of beef, lamb, pork, veal, etc. The most representative are lamb chops or steaks. The main course must come with corresponding sauces. We also need to pre-select for passengers such as gravy, tomato sauce, spicy sauce, or mustard sauce, etc. The eighth procedure is dessert. That is consumed after the main course, such as pudding, cake, ice cream, cheese, fruit, etc. Fruit is the last course. After eating, it can add a sense of perfection to the entire meal. At this time, we can also recommend after-dinner drinks. The ninth procedure is the post-meal drink. We can recommend corresponding hot drinks and after-dinner wines. Now, let's come to steak. Everyone knows that steak has different classifications, which also means there are different baking methods. They can generally be divided into rare, medium, medium well, and well done. Since the steak on the plane has already been cooked for the first time on the ground, it is difficult to bake it rare again. So generally, we do not recommend rare to passengers. Medium steak. The inside of the steak is pink, with light gray and brown. The whole steak has a balanced temperature and taste. It takes about high temperature to bake for about 10 minutes. Medium well steak. The inside of the steak is mainly light gray-brown, with a small amount of pink. The texture is relatively thick, with a chewy texture. It takes about medium heat to bake for about 15 minutes. Well done steak. The steak is entirely a well done brown color. You can choose to bake at high temperature for about 18 minutes. Next, let's learn about a few well-known types of steak. Sirloin steak, also known as shell steak, refers to beef that is tender, with marbling and tender sinew. Shell steak is tender and sweet, with a rich, juicy texture, which is suitable for young people and those with good teeth. When eating, cut the meat along with the tendons. Also, avoid overcooking. Fillet steak, also known as tenderloin or beef fillet, comes from the innermost part of the beef and has the most tender and lean texture, with a good taste, and is also not easy to overcook. It is recommended to be cooked medium or medium well. Therefore, it can be recommended for children or passengers who prefer lean meat. Ribeye steak comes from the rib section of the cow. It's the meat next to the cow's bone. The high refers to the circular cross-section of the muscle. The muscle in this part is not often used, so the meat is tender and juicy. This is also favored by young passengers. Boneless steak is the meat from the spine of the cow, a large steak with a T-shaped bone in the middle. One side is fillet, and the other side is New York strip. The texture is both tender and robust. Short ribs come from the left and right sides of the cow's chest, including the rib part, especially using the 6th and 7th ribs of the cow. It's tender and not tough, which can be baked to well done. Even passengers who are afraid of raw meat can enjoy it. With the development of the aviation industry, first class and business class have evolved. From airborne kitchens to today's delights on the tongue, it's almost everything. It's dizzying. In order to create an international, professional standard, various airlines will invite some internationally renowned chefs to oversee the in-flight catering. And we, in the air, provide meal services for first class and business class passengers is absolutely not to be overlooked. We need to understand the origin of the meals, master baking skills and service processes, and use personalized services to make timely recommendations for passengers, including the taste of the meals and matching wines, etc. For many airlines, this is a culinary competition. At 10,000 meters above ground, and more importantly, it is a competition to provide exquisite, delicate, and beautiful services for first class and business class passengers. So, at the end of the course, let's appreciate the exquisite offerings of airlines around the world.